by 2030. I look forward to coming back on your programme and declaring success.
I'm still in employment by then, and if you're still in power, it'll be a funny old world, but go on.
You'll definitely be in employment.
But you might not be in power.
Come off it.
In this video, watch Nick Ferrari have Ed Miliband stumbling over his £15 billion green waste, ignoring MI6 warnings on Chinese spies, and actually cancelling local elections. Let's watch this together, and then I'll share my thoughts at the end.
Ed Miliband, who joins us now. Good to have you on, Mr. Miliband. What is it that you're excited about this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Ferrari. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Look, what we're doing today, it's all part of tackling the cost of living crisis. You'll know that the Chancellor announced she was taking £150 off energy bills in April, but we know that one of the biggest ways we can cut bills is by upgrading homes. And this is a comprehensive plan. As you say, £15 billion of investment. There's higher standards for private renters. There's investment in social housing to tackle fuel poverty. And then, crucially also, grants for heat pumps and a new initiative we're taking, which is zero or low interest loans for for rooftop solar and indeed other clean tech kit. All about the moral mission of the government, Nick, which is to tackle the affordability crisis, tackle fuel poverty.
What are the prices involved, though? If we talk about a regular gas boiler versus a heat pump, what sort of money are we talking about?
Let's get to the brass tacks.
Come on, let's do it.
So look, our estimates are that for a mid-terrace 3-bedroom house, it's something like £9,300 for a heat pump. The £7,500 grant that we are offering takes you down to £1,800, which is definitely cost competitive with a gas boiler. And the truth is also now, partly because of what the Chancellor did in the budget to cut the cost of electricity, you can run a heat pump more cheaply than you can run a gas boiler. And so it's trying to put within reach of not just the wealthiest in our society this ability to cut your energy bill. So that's the basic story here.
But heat pumps can't go everywhere, Secretary of State. You'll be aware that an analysis of English housing survey data shows that in the last 10 years in London and other cities such as Manchester and Glasgow, more than half of homes built are in high-rise buildings. How will heat pumps work in high-rise buildings?
Well, let me answer that. I mean,
that would be the idea of a question.
First of all, there's one of the things we're expanding to is so-called air-to-air heat pumps, which can go in much smaller spaces, including in flats. That's one of the things we're doing today, one of the things that will be eligible for a grant. There's also something called heat networks, which is lots of flats are on heat networks, so more broadly. I was also at a block in Hackney yesterday where they've put solar panels on all the rooftops and they're cutting bills for residents. And I met happy residents, Nick, who are saying, yeah, these solar panels are great. They're cutting our bills. So I'm not saying for every person this is the answer. There's different answers for different residents, but it's all about, with this range of measures, making it possible for people to cut their bills.
A senior Labour politician meeting happy voters. That must have been a rare moment.
Now.
I hope you cherished that.
Now.
Now, why is this not like your other promise that you're going to bring my heating bill down by 300 quid by 2030?
We are.
But we're not. It's marching in the other direction, Mr. Miliband.
It's not marching in the other direction. Look, anyway, we're in 2026. But look, the Chancellor took a big initiative in the budget, taking £150 off your bills and everyone else's, which is going to come in April, lowering that price cap. We're determined to do it because the affordability crisis is a massive issue facing the country. I think there's a bigger principle here, though, Nick, which is, it may interest you to know this, rooftop solar, there was more rooftop solar installed last year than any other year in Britain. Mm-hmm. There were more heat pumps installed last year than in any other year.
What was the figure?
The figure was 200,000 for
What is the figure
solar.
We need to be at by 2030?
We want to get to 450,000.
Oh, I've got a figure of 600,000. So you say 450. Will we get to it?
Yes. Yeah, that's what the plan is all about.
No, that's the plan. But you can sell your hand on your heart and say, we will be delivering. What was it? 450,000 pumps by when?
Yeah. By 2030. I look forward to coming back on your programme and declaring success.
I'm still in employment by then, and if you're still in power, it'll be a funny old world, but go on.
You'll definitely be in employment.
But you might not be in power.
Come off it. Look, where were we? So people are voting with people are kind of voting with their pockets. Well, what's the answer to why the solar demand was at the highest level ever?
Well, because we're giving them billions in grants or loans or whatever it might be.
Well, actually, we weren't giving them for solar. I mean, I'm actually making it easy. Well, I know, but that doesn't explain why last year.
Prior to that,
I could take credit for last year, but I mean, but look.
But I sense you realise you've done. Honest Ed has done a great selling job. The only way you can get to that 450,000 figure is by effectively, small quotes, bribing small quotes people with loans and grants.
I don't think it's about bribing. I think it's about saying, why should only the richest in society have the benefit of solar panels which can cut your bills or heat pumps which can cut your bills? Why shouldn't we make it available to everyone?
Now, what of this story in The Sun? Desperate ministers are begging energy companies to let them take the credit for bill cuts in April. They're asking that, despite analysis suggesting households will pay an extra £116 a year, the government is asking the power companies to say that they've passed on the savings. Is this an act of desperation?
Sounds like guff to me. I mean, I've not seen that story.
Nonsense.
That sounds like complete guff.
All right.
Yeah. All
right. While I have the benefit of you on the line, a couple of other stories. The Chinese embassy has got the go-ahead, Mr. Miliband. We've just been speaking with Sir Richard Dearlove, the former head of MI6, who said actually it is an act that damages national security. Steve Reed, the Environment Secretary, who's given it the go-ahead, the most enthusiasm he's had is to watch The Spy Who Loved Me, and there's a little more than that. How come he's right and Sir Richard Dearlove is wrong?
Look, I think I'd rely on our security services today, who have said publicly that they think that this is we've taken a proportionate, professional and proper approach to this and put in place proper security mitigations, and the Cross-Party Intelligence and Security Committee, which says that it's fine to go ahead. So I don't buy that.
It is not realistic to expect to be able to wholly eliminate each and every potential risk, says Sir Ken McCullum, MI5 Director General, and Anne Keast-Butler, the GCHQ Director, who also say, by the way, we cannot, we'd be irrational to drive embassy-generated risk down to zero. So I hear what you're saying, but there is still a degree of concern, Mr. Miliband.
Look, we always take the security incredibly seriously on these kind of issues. We've done all the work on this, and you know, it's been properly looked at.
Lastly, is the government running in fear of democracy? Local elections have been cancelled, and as you may be aware, ITV News is reporting that Sir Lindsay Hoyle has written to a local council saying, quote, personally I believe the local elections should take place. Why would it appear the government is so frightened of local democracy?
I don't think we are frightened of them. We're going to have elections right across the country.
Some of them will take 7 years, though.
But this is about the process of getting to unitary authorities and working out the best process for that. Honestly, I don't think anyone's in any doubt there are going to be lots of elections across the country in May, and no doubt you'll be wanting to sort of jump to lots of conclusions about them.
So, there you have it. Did you see the look on his face? He wants to spend £15 billion of your money. He wants to bribe you to install heat pumps that don't work in high-rises. But when it comes to actual national security, he just shrugs. The former head of MI6 says this Chinese embassy is a threat. Miliband says we've looked at it. And then, the cherry on top, some elections will take 7 years. They are pausing democracy because they know their policies are making them unpopular. This is the reality of this technocratic government. They tax you, they ignore your security concerns, and then they cancel your vote. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Miliband incompetent, or is he actually dangerous? If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss a thing.